respected Chief, former Prime Minister of Nepal, and everyone who is present here, and also my friend Wang Chung from Sichuan. I will be very brief, in the sense that there is a debate going in Nepal for a long time, and also often we do compare BRI and MCC. My very precise answer is that a donkey and bull cannot be compared. But if we compare a donkey and bull, then we create a lot of misconceptions. So it's not a BRI is misunderstood, but we have confused this idea. So it's very interesting, so many people talk whether BIR is a debt or it's a loan. It's neither debt, it's neither nor assistance. It's a model of cooperation. In this model of cooperation, what happens is like everybody puts some money or some resources, and they say, that's why it is called win-win cooperation. In the last presentation, Professor Zhang Shubin also showed 5 different parameters of BRI. So BRI has a long history, Silk Road and Maritime Silk Road, and the concept is based on that. So the very simple philosophy is that create one belt, and then create another road, and then create another belt. That's how connected. So with this, what I say is like 2017 Memorandum of Understanding regarding BRI between Nepal and China is unique one. It's very special, but that's not properly understood or not that is properly studied. This morning, Excellency Ambassador said that China is spending almost $400 billion in research. This is a country where there is no money for research. So we don't study anything. In this agreement, there are 4 things very important. What this agreement says is that if BRI project works in Nepal, the money definitely there is a resources. Nepal can put money, China can put money, or Nepal can money fully, or China can do it. If China doesn't, and if the project relates to hydroelectricity, the water that flows is our money. So it is equated. So price of per cubic water is counted, and then that price of the resources is Nepal's investment. And very interesting point is there. What it says is like the environment is also calculated, and the cost of the environment is also the cost from the side of the Nepal. And most importantly, what this agreement says is that even the labor, the human resource is also the investment from the side of Nepal. Though salary is probably paid by the project, but that much human resource involved, the brain and the physics both, that also is money. So therefore, there is suppose $1 billion investment from China. Now, what may happen is like the water, environment, and labor, these 3 things can be equated, and it can be said 75, or you can say little less than $1 billion. So that is Nepal's investment, and that's China's investment. And so why do we talk about loan or debt? It's very interesting. So this agreement was not properly analyzed and not properly studied before the protocol was proposed from the side of Nepal. So people have been quite confused, and they say that, okay, with the new framework proposal from framework project, the previous agreement memorandum is good. No, that's not. That's a foundation, and that's an elaboration. That's how we have to understand. So with these, I don't think that we have to much understand about it. If we see the cow, we understand it. But if we don't see the cow, then we will write 100 pages essay, but still we don't understand. So Nepal, what is problem of Nepal is like our Chinese colleague, they understand things in a precise, exact, objectively, but we try to understand subjectively. So sometime this morning I said, okay, answer is accepted but not lecture, because Nepalese even cannot ask a question without talking 5 minutes. They don't have a question. We give a lecture to ask the question, and the people who answer, they don't understand what he means. So that's a problem. Now, what I would like to relate with this is like talk to certain challenges and certain prospects or the benefits. You scroll down, right? Hello? You scroll down. Talk about certain difficulties. Let's see. One very important difficulties that we encounter is the difficulty in converting geopolitics into geoeconomics. We have not started talking geoeconomics again. We always talk about geopolitics. We haven't so much fed up with this, so much, that we all the time talk about Burajniti, geopolitics, but if we start thinking changing geopolitics into geoeconomics, then India and China will be our market. If we think it is geopolitics, then India and China will be our big two tigers who may kill us. But if we convert it into economy, then it becomes both of them can be very friendly. So we should be able to negotiate that way, but we don't do it. So why this is becoming more problem now is like the context is shifting. Context is shifting in the sense that China is a big power now, and Russia has been emerged as a big political power, and it has a very strong control over Eurasia. So Russian importance now is being built on its political strength and military strength, whereas China's strength is built on its economy and cooperation. When these two powers have been emerging as a very strong power, then the Western countries, America and allies, have been filling on set for them to keep Indo-Pacific area in their hand. So they are becoming more aggressive. And China and Russia both have to manage it. Therefore, there is a confrontation. So when that happens, what problem we face? More American presence in Nepal because of that shift has therefore changed the political dynamics of Nepal. So in the past, we managed China and India. Both of them were not very economically powerful and also not very militarily powerful, and a small country could very easily manage them. But now both of them have become very strong, and then it is because of their strength America has it, right? So now we have 3 countries to balance. And we never had a practice and never have an experience of balancing 3 countries, therefore we are entering into the problem. And now Russia is also active. So now we have 4 countries. When you were quite habitual to understand and balance the geopolitics of 2 countries, now you have 4 countries. Will the policy be same? There is no resource and there are no people. Therefore, this is a difficulty. Whether BRI comes or not, if we keep this diplomacy in this stage, we fail again. And it is not the BRI what that will fail, but our policy will fail. So we have to understand that way. That is my one narratives. Okay. So intensified American Indo-Pacific interests becomes bigger, and that escalates imbalance in geopolitical reality in Asia. This situation generates three sets of interest in Nepal: China and India, China and America and its allies, and America and India. So their dynamics are different. So there are three different types of dynamics here. Previously, we have only one dynamic, and then we could manage, but we cannot manage this dynamics by managing only USA, China, or America. So, situation makes Nepal geopolitical extremely difficult. And we have been talking about rail, we have been talking about Bhairava Airport, we have been talking about Pokhara Airport. But this sit in geopolitics, we never thought about it. Therefore, we constructed airport, but we never thought what problem we should encounter, because the country situation is the conflict of, we cannot say, we may not say conflict, but the competition of the three different interests. So we should have thought about it. We made a big mistake here. So Nepal is bound to navigate tensions posed by the changed context between China and India. Over-alignment with any country will strain relation with each other, potentially leading to reduced trade and investment. And that you can see, we import 15 billion worth of rupees today. And our trade has absolutely grown. Next is debt trap. No leaders of our country talk about debt trap, and they don't know what is the trap that means debt, and what is that debt trap actually composed by. See, Nepal already has debt of approximately 7 million US dollars, comprising 80% belonging to ADB, 30%, and World Bank, IMF, and Western Development Agencies, 50. So that is 80%. But all the time, what do we talk? China debt trap, China debt trap. Whereas China's loan in Nepal is 1.90 alone. Only 1%, 90, whereas India's loan in Nepal is 2.2 to 2.10%. And rest of the 2% is Korean. So whose debt trap we are already in? Because we already are in big debt trap of the Western country. So this attract creates up an additional debt burden due to large-scale infrastructure project in this situation. In this situation, if we do not manage that debt trap and we start bringing big projects under BRI, and if we fail to manage it, and that will not actually create a prospect, but that will also create a burden of the that create a stress on the existing burden. So without analyzing this existing debt, we cannot manage the investment from the side of the China. That's what we never thought about. So why that happens, therefore? My opinion is that Nepal lacks a long-term economic and development plans. What we want to be in 20 years, what we want to be in 5 years, what we want to be in 30 years, and what we want to be in 50 years. Is there any plan? The situation is becoming like in 10 years, we would be a country without population. So that is a plan here. Shall we give non-objection letter to every child to go to Europe? That's the situation. So another problem is transparency. I don't have to explain much about it. This factor makes the most serious risks. Weak institutional capacity of the government and corruption are common parlance in Nepal. I don't know, even in the last Prime Minister visit, there were anyone who was a very good development economist associated with that trade. Okay? So, BRI projects may suffer implementation setbacks due to institutional weakness of the government, not because of the China side. So this is very important thing that we need to understand. Transparency on the part of the Nepalese government, the chance of elite capture of projects and misalignment with local needs is big. So what may happen? So our business people may develop a project not to produce goods but to create a cable car in Tableau. It might be like that. So this is a very serious. Then another difficulty is land acquisition for projects may be challenging tasks due to government's lack of proper policies on the resettlement policy displaced by the project. We are not blaming the people. People are not bad, but they will resent taking of the land because there is no settlement plan. If you have a settlement plan and you say that these are the houses built for you, you give the land, you go over there, I think people will happily give you the land and there is no project difficulties. The last probably is the implementation delays. Bureaucratic inefficiencies and political instability are chronic problems, and the lack of adequate experts with most modern technology. This morning for sure, my colleagues also presented that you don't have good engineers because you don't teach people, you rot. That's the situation. Now opportunities, infrastructure development, improve cross-border railways, highways, and China-Nepal trans-Himalayan connectivity network, Nepal's internal transportation and airports will enhance inbound tourists, both from India and from Nepal. I don't want to explain. I have well explained these benefits of Nepal in my books, China, South Asia, China Geopolitics. And then Himalayan economic corridor will be a net result throwing Nepal into economic high. After BRI, improved connectivity in all aspects may be enhanced and will reduce dependence on India, enhancing trade and regional connectivity. We already have signed agreement and all protocols have been there, but the goods do not go by China to South Korea or Japan. Then energy production is another opportunity for us. Investment in hydro projects as well as renewable energy would harness energy surplus for export to China and South Asia, boosting revenue. Economic growth and trade is another, so enhanced infrastructure may lower the logistic cost, expand access to Chinese and Indian markets for Nepali goods, including agriculture and handicrafts, and attract tourism, creating jobs and reducing poverty. That is another greatest benefit probably we can exact from BRI. Strategic partnership. BRI offers leverage in international diplomacy, diversifying alliance between EU and India. Participation in China's digital Silk Road would modernize intercommunication technology infrastructure and regional connectivity, positioning Nepal as a transit hub between China and South Asia, could spur economic integration, benefiting from initiatives like the Himalayan Economic Corridor. Sustainable development potential for green energy projects and climate resilient infrastructure. Aligning with global sustainability is another. So there are 5 difficulties and 6 advantages. But these are completely indifferent. So I will just take 1 minute. Conclusion now, what I do often talk about importance of BRI in Nepal is like, BRI presents transformative opportunity for Nepal's development. It not only creates economy, but it will also transforms the model of development in Nepal. But it may fail if project management capacity of the public as well as private sector is not enhanced and effective governance ensured. But keeping this level of technology and the manpower, we will fail. Balancing geopolitical interest is vital. Ensuring projects' alignment with local needs and environmental safeguards should not be overlooked. And long-term development plan is vital to adjust priority of the projects. And that's how BRI is very important. So, BRI is not something China is going to give. BRI, if you want to take it, bring it. There is honey hive. If you want to eat honey, bring it. If you do not want to eat honey, don't bring it.
Thank you, sir.
So question is not China. Question is Nepal. Let's think about Nepal and then China. We first think India and China and we think us. So that attitude is very, very bad. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And I would also like to take an apology because I have to go for some time. So I would go.
These opportunities and prospects of BRI in Nepal from the perspective of China, Nepal.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late. First, thank you, Mr. Singer. Thank you for your invitation. Now let's my speech. My speech title is Opportunities and Prospects of the BRI in Nepal. Insights from China-Nepal joint statements. 1. The evolution of China-Nepal joint statements under the BRI. Since President Xi Jinping proposed the BRI in 2013, China and Nepal has issued 4 joint states, Article 1 and 4 framework, reflecting the progress and deepening cooperation under this initiative. 1. The joint statement on March 23, 2016. We can see 2 pictures. In 2016, from 20 to 77, then Chinese Premier Li Keqiang, Nepalese Prime Minister KP Chopra Oli paid an official visit to China. The state emphasized the number of development strategy between the 2 countries. The solutions of bilateral cooperation plan and the advancement of key projects under the BRI framework. Next, the joint statement of June 21, 2018, Beijing, China. We see in this visit 2018 from June 19 to 24, then Chinese Premier Li Keqiang met Oli, including a trip in Lhasa, a trip to Lhasa, Xizang region. The state reaffirmed both sides' commitment to accelerating the implementation of the MOU on BRI cooperation, stressing connectivity in ports, roads, railways, aviation and communication, and joint developing a Himalaya multi-disciplinary productivity network. The joint statement on October 13, 2019, Kathmandu, Nepal. This visit, the state reiterated the commitment to accelerating the implementation of the BRI MOU, strengthening connectivity in ports, roads, railways, aviation, and communication, and promotion Nepal's development agenda, including its goals of graduating from the least developed countries status and becoming major economic by 2030. The first, we see the joint statement of December 3, 2024, Beijing, China. This weekend, the PPOLI paid an official visit to China from December 2 to 5, 2024. The statement underscored both sides' commitment to further enlarging development strategies and deepening high-quality BRI cooperation. It also highlighted the intention to sign MOU on promoting the construction of the Trans-Himalaya Connectivity Network and cooperation framework agreement on joint advancing the BRI, the first joint statement. Notably, prepared to the first BRI Forum for International Cooperation in 2017, China and Nepal had already signed the MOU on BRI cooperation. The provisions in 3 of the 4 joint statements regarding BRI implementation were based on this foundation MOU. This joint statement reflects the results of policy coordination and mutual concessions between China and Nepal, reforming their shared community on BRI. To come to opportunities and prospects of the BRI in Nepal in starts from the 2024 joint states. One, the 5 programmed operations in the 2024 joint statement. The December 3, 2024 China-Nepal joint statement represents the latest outcome of bilateral policy coordinating, containing 12 provisions that address the deepening of 5 pronged operation under the BRI's sacred gold deed. Upon review, it can be observed that there is one provision directly related to the BRI, 9 provisions related to policy coordination, 2 provisions on infrastructure connectivity, 2 on uniparty trade, 1 on financial integration, and 1 on strengthened P2P tie-up. One might wonder, doesn't this exceed 12 provisions? While India, it does. This is because the one provision most closely related to the BRI is also the longest in the joint statement. covering all the 5 blogging operation. This highlights that the BRI is the central focus of the joint statement. Over the past 80 years, under the guidance of these joint statements, China and Nepal have achieved significant progress in the 5 blogging operation. I think in policy coordination, China and Nepal signed agreements in June 2018 on railway cooperation and goods transportation by Xizang. As for the high anticipated Chinese-Nepal cross-border railway in December 2022, the 2 governments successfully signed the implementation agreement for the project. The first phase of feasibility studies was completed in early 2024, with field service expected to conclude by June and for feasibility signed by 2026. In infrastructure connectivity, the China and Nepal cross-border network fiber link project launched in January 2018 has allowed Nepal to its Chinese internet service, offering faster and more affordable connectivity than before. 3. In unpredicted trade, following the pandemic, the bilateral trade reached 1.8 billion in 2023, a 9.1% increase from the previous year. From January to August 2024, trade volume hit 1.28 billion and 18 increasing. Additional 14 traditional border trade points allow the Chinese-Nepal border return and begin functioning smoothly, benefiting both trade and the local livelihoods. A report from the government post on January 16, 2024 highlighted the reopening of the reservoir and targeted the trade ports in Nepal's northeastern region on May 24, 2024. This reopening greatly facilitated the trade of traditional Nepali carpets. Local region reported that hand-made carpets are highly popular in Xizang, and they are one of Nepal's fast-selling exports. Carpets now sell for 1,800 Nepalese rupees, up from 3 Nepalese rupees 15 years ago. In terms of payments, border trade has proven more cohesion than the domestic sales. In Nepal, rare transaction may require credit checks and paid can take years. In contrast, in Xizang-based markets allow for cash settlement and immediate invoicing, which increases efficiency. In financial integration, we can't pay. We officially launched in Nepal in June 2023, marking a positive and beneficial collaboration between Chinese tech companies and Nepali financial institutions. Financial on stressing people-to-people tie. Cultural and education exchanges continue to deep, stressing the borders between the two nations. Given the framework of the 2024 joint state, the future of BRI cooperation between China and Nepal is promising. 2. The China-Nepal BRI cooperation framework. On December 4, 2024, China and Nepal signed the cooperation framework agreement on joint advancing BRI, covering economic, financial, transportation, logistics, trade, industrial investment, and customer cooperation. This signing ceremony was headed by Liu Sushe, Vice Chairman of National Development and Reform Commission of China, and Emil Banda Ri, Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Nepal. According to official statement from both sides, the agreement outlines 10 key construction projects in sections including transportation, energy, culture, and industry, along with details on project implementation and financials. The agreement is valid for 3 years and will be automatic. It tending for another 3 years unless either party decides to terminate it before expiration. It suddenly makes a significant step forward in China-Nepal relations, and this
3% interest rate in the loan is geopolitics. Basically, the Western competitor of China wanted to build a narrative. It's a false narrative. So often, this cited report is commissioned in 2001 with the USAID funded this study. So that put all the BRI project in a very bad light, and all the media picked up it. And you see, the Congress proposed $5 million for propaganda. For propaganda against this BRI. This is the American press, from the American press. And recently, this last October, $1.6 billion US Congress passed to have a propaganda against China. So, again, we have to understand as a Nepalese, this is not our business. This is too big power in fighting. But we have to understand the context, how it is happening there. So this is the big news, you see. USAID funded 6,200 journalists for this kind of propagation. And you see, Associated Press, it's a very reputed news agency, international news agency. It is influenced by that kind of thing. The Guardian is better is that. The Australian that started. However, the propaganda and false narrative does not live a long life. That is, you might have in the Chatham House in the think tank in the London. That is famous for very independent and neutral position. The Chatham House said that debunking the myth of the dead trap is already in 2021. The Atlantic magazine, this is the American magazine, very distracted. It says the Chinese dead trap is a myth. The Nikkei Asia, the Japanese newspaper, it says it's myth. However, as late as 2024 December, the Kathmandu Post News, there our Prime Minister saying, dropping the words in the dead trap. The world has already understood this is a false narrative, but our politician, our intellectual, and our media have to wake up. That is very unfortunate. So finally, now, with this background, what is the opportunities? I don't want to repeat. Dr. Sangraula very eloquently put in the same thing. So it's important to fill up the funding gap. We know it already. And most important is the connectivity infrastructure for easy access to Chinese market. China and Nepal Railway, I have often in the public forum, as a transport planner and engineer, I have been advocating all along in the media and that it's a game changer. It's a truly game changer. That. So we should have focus on that, do a homework and for this. And the leveraging BRI investment for Chinese investment and industrialization trade. Just last our distinguished Chinese this presenter very rightly put it that. BRI is not only particular or isolated infrastructure project. It has to look at in the ecosystem of promoting trade, promoting Chinese investment for the industrialization and so on and so forth. And most important opportunity is, as I mentioned, the China in the past 10 or 20 years have made a miracle in construction industry, especially civil engineering industry, and there is a good chances of getting benefit from that through the technology transfer. Training our young engineers, our construction company, our consulting company, we have not get benefited from that. So even in our all the agreement and that high level exchanges and that, we have hundreds of people joining prime minister delegation, but not a single engineer, not a single engineer, not a technician. We have to change it that to reach that opportunity. And most important opportunity is, look, Dr. Sangraula just mentioned about it. Our developmental problem is a wrong policy and approach imposed by Western multilateral donors. And with the BRI, we have an opportunity to have a new kind of development framework. Our Chinese friend also should have understand that. Dr. Sangraula rightly put it, if you want to implement BRI project within the framework designed by our Western donor, there will be disaster. There will be disaster. So this is another opportunity to change our overall development of the infrastructure development system. One of the challenges is, the first is from the Nepal side, identifying the right project. You can see in the panel the photograph of the Pokhara airport, it's a wrong project. I all along the right from the beginning, I have spoken in the media, this is my subject, I'm a university professor, I teach. Such a kind of statement, I don't put without the fact and this analysis. It's a wrong project, and our Chinese partner also. We are weak, our system is weak. You should have allowed that. If this project is whether there can be vertical, this operated effectively or not. So, first task is, challenge is identifying the right project, and another is, especially in Nepal, our economists, especially professional project economists, are doing the pretty good. Because whenever there is some project, our expectation is who pays it? Does the project generate the financial profit or not? The fact of the matter is, not all infrastructure projects that are economically feasible or socially desirable, not financially profitable. Our road, railway, port, airport, in no country, when you first build it, from next year it cannot have the profit. That it takes some time, and some project is of the public nature, never generate a profit. But our discussion on the railway, airport, port, and all, our discussion is it should generate a project. It's not like a building of cinema hall at a supermarket or like private sector. So that is we need to acknowledge at the policy level. So for instance, this China-Nepal railway, it's a game changer. But from the next 2 years or 3 years, it cannot recover all the investment. It might take some time. So those kind of acknowledgement at the policy level is important and we need it. And already our system needs to be fixed first. It's a broken system we do have. And negotiating to minimize this commercial interest on the Chinese side. So one of the big challenges for the Nepalese government is because in the BRI, what I see is there is a different layer of what you call this narratives of the agenda. In the political level, Chinese political level, we have a very historically, very friendly relationship. Chinese people and Chinese politicians, government want to have a really help to Nepal. But when it comes to your contractor level, the contractor's project manager is to maximize the project profit. So at that point, there might be two different, even though both are the Chinese government department and what do you call this, contractor. So we should make a distinction. So at that level, in the project management level, the Chinese contractor may not be as sympathetic as their political masters. So that we have to be very careful. And finally, there is this technology transfer and in the capacity building. The Chinese side can help Nepal in a great deal. Let me give you two examples in the BRI. Successful, both are railway. This is China-Laos railway. Why I am presenting this case is, in BRI discussion, we had debated this kind of arrangement. We end up our discussion in loan versus grant and finished. It's very polarized. Look, in China-Laos railway, it's 1,000, more than 1,000 long railway, 1,035 kilometers, $6 billion, huge money. And the boarding for, and by the way, this Laos section is very difficult. Out of 6 billion, about 4 billion around is Laos side constructed. But how much boarding Laos is taken is only $750 million. And $250 is the equity, and loan is only $480. So what matters is at the end of the day, what is the arrangement for the project? We have not entered in that. We started fighting on the loan versus grant. That's ridiculous. And by the way, in this agreement, I find that China is very sympathetic to Laos, being a poor country, small country. So we need this kind of sympathy. Another is Jakarta Bandung high-speed train. It's also very flagship BRI project. Look, the project started with the 6 billion in terms of this estimated cost, but it was delayed for land acquisition and that, and the cost remained 8.5 billion. Dr. Sangraula already pointed it out. I would like to draw attention about Chinese friend. Be very careful. Our project implementation system is broken. And if we go down, because I am a transport engineer, when I was in Tokyo, this project was developed by Japanese, you know it. And if the project cost is not escalated to $8.5 billion, the project is now in the very substantial, but now it is big deficit. And there is an issue. The government has to subsidize. So, having the right kind of implementation is very important. And another lesson here is the Indonesian government is very smart to play against Chinese versus Japanese. And ultimately, until 1 week back, there was a news report that this project is going to the Japan and that, but doesn't shoot back. So this is the negotiating tactics. And Indonesian government was able to convince China on a very convenient term and condition. Number one, the loan is not guaranteed by government. It doesn't appear in the government budget, number one. And other is, there is a very significant element of technology transfer. That. Let me tell you why technology transfer is very important. All along, in different forum, I am giving the example, and my colleague, even engineering colleague, again blame me. Oh, you are talking about Korea, you are talking about Japan, Europe, we are not that, we are not India. Now this time, I am talking about Japan, but not now Japan. Japan of 1870. My university, my alma mater, the University of Tokyo was established in 1876, 6 years after this project. So in this first railway line project, the Japan borrowed money from Britain with 12% interest rate, not 2, 12% interest rate, it's a fact. What they did, how Japanese Prime Minister and politicians thought it, how will they back? They said that, look, we don't have a university, we know nothing about engineering. What they said is, this project itself is our engineering. So they assigned young Japanese without engineering background against each British engineer and technician. I asked them, look, you have to learn this thing without any engineering. And in another project, in 1918, after 8 years, 100% of new lines is done by Chinese by themselves. When they didn't have engineering colleges, they didn't have. It's by learning, by doing, and technology transfer to the project. This project manager, the British project managers, he died without the illness, and his statue is in the Yokohama. You can see Major honor. They helped, the British engineer helped sufficiently to transfer. They taught. With this spirit, we have to learn our project. And then learn by ourselves, because civil engineering is a matter. It is a very conventional skill and techniques, which we can do. What you see in the YouTube and Facebook or the Chinese interest in bridge and all that, if our Chinese partners are sympathetic and help to us, I can say you for sure. I'm a professor teaching in the engineering. Our young engineers are smart enough to catch it in higher than that's so the conclusion. Finally, I agree that we are the potentially a win-win initiative. However, both China side and Nepal, we need to make an extra effort. We need some reform in the both sides. Especially Nepal state machinery, we may not be very strong like Indonesia. To have a very tough negotiation. But as our friend, I never. You should listen to that, to understand and teach our bureaucrat. Please ask this. This is the, for instance, in China, Nepal railway currently, feasibility study is going on. But I don't know the information. In that thing, you have not involved an engineer. It's very easy to do that. This will not help to have a sustainable project and in the long run. That. So teach our people and involve us that. So from the Nepal side, I already mentioned that we identify right project and don't insist on the ground. From the China side, finally again, my point is Nepal being a very close neighbor, huge Nepal as an exemplary case. Look, the BRI going to Nepal or this developed countries, we build the infrastructure, we build the institution, we transfer the technology, and they are now in the Asia very competent in technology and infrastructure. That is the big return to China. Don't expect so much because we are too poor and too weak to run a business and to make a big profit. Not now. After 20 years, the Chinese businessman can make. So this is very, thank you very much.